I keep wondering what are y'all teaching in philosophy classrooms right now in the United States? Well, all over the world, but the United States. You know, I mean, there are canonical examples in philosophy. You know, you got your Gustav Laubens, right? You got your SSP. You got your if P then Q, right? A lot of John Nash stuff going on, right? A lot of game-theoretic scenarios. Game-theoretic scenarios. What are you guys talking about in philosophy classrooms right now? The cogito, or, I mean, is that an identity? Cogito? Whose cogito is that? Does Donald Trump have cogito? What happens in the, apropos the transcendental apperception? Trumpian transcendental apperception, right? What about the transcendental deduction? Are there special Trumpian categories of cognition for the transcendental deduction? In game theoretic anticipation, right? How many dimensions, extra dimensional chess, can a game theorist play? More than most politicians, I'll tell you that. And you know what? Even if they hire you as a game theoretic analyst, they won't listen. Nobody's going to listen to a philosopher just because you say, yeah, I'm a philosopher. You have to get in their face, and first of all, you have to test where they have theoretical commitments. They. Who's they? Anybody. Anybody in the United States, or anybody that you're going to have a political conversation with. Are there opinions? Are there views? Are there ethical commitments? Do people have moral commitments? As political subjects? Yes, they do. What are those moral commitments? Well, we have MLK Day coming up right now. What is that, like Harvey Milk? Milk. No, Martin Luther King. MLK, Martin Luther King Jr. MLKJ. Right? So, as we know, all of the GOP is on board de jure, right? De jure with the word and the letter of MLK Day. Black identity, right? So, if there are people that need to understand, like for example, if somebody starts quoting, in the words of MLK, I have a dream. Well, a dream about what? You compress them. The point is that there's no intellectual activity in society right now. There's no intellectual activity. And the news cycle is perpetuated by a lot of noise. A lot of fast talking points, right? Sensationalism, ad buys, right? Nobody's going to wait for a philosopher to get their questions out. Nobody's going to hire a philosopher. You got to get in there and grind the discourse to a halt and show who has the capacity to direct the discourse. Who has a dialogue? The person who is literate, the learned person, or the illiterate person? Who has dialogue? See, literacy versus illiteracy, literacy always wins dramatically. Because, for example, if you take, because I used this one the other day, didn't I? Take Steve Miller's brilliant line, right? It's a power. The real world is a power, right? Oh, I guess he has a theory of power, huh? We can start, dear Stephen Miller, right? I mean, this is a hypothetical, right? I mean, if you've got him in front of you, and you can keep your wits about you and keep your composure. The first matter of discussion is the meaning of Schopenhauer's dog's name. And what that says about Steve Miller's theory of power. Now, if Steve Miller does not know Schopenhauer's dog's name, he's got a problem. Because immediately, the base of knowledge looks quite lopsided. If you know more, you know more. I guarantee you that Steve Miller does not have a theory of power. He also doesn't have a theory of reality. Nevertheless, he's talking about real power. Well, you need to get his theory of real and his theory of power, right? In order to even know what he's just claimed. But he just thinks that he can get up there and say fancy things and intimidate people and nobody's going to call him on it. But he doesn't. He's illiterate. Power? Like oil? Like hydrocarbons? Like batteries? What power? Look, philosophers, my guess is probably everybody's comforting themselves thinking that, oh, well, yeah, this isn't my problem because philosophy is supposed to be objective. Whose problem is it going to be? The citizens? Do you think that the types of arguments that are required, the type of rhetorical showmanship that's required to hijack the popular discourse with a higher level, a higher degree of resolution, a higher degree of fidelity to truth. I mean, that sounds silly, right? A higher degree of, start with any degree of fidelity to truth. That'll get us a long way. You know, it's like all y'all philosophers, you don't have any imagination. What about pamphlets? I mean, the obsession with objectivity is putting y'all on the wrong path. I think that the ones on the left have a problem with what? What do the people on the left have a problem with? Authority, right? You don't want to be violent. You don't want to be aggressive. Passivity is the way to go. Yes, I understand it's complicated. But for all y'all big swinging dick logicians, who I've seen in the classroom not behaving in a peaceful way, decapitating arguments and, willy-nilly, the odd philosopher's head, too. I mean, I know how y'all argue. So you got such big balls when you're arguing about logic, but not when you're facing off against real political opponents?